Hello and welcome to another Tim Allen 1337 video about new and future add-ons for Guardian. Today will be a look forward for everybody. Bond skills will be coming out on November 18th. We'll do a quick overview on which ones you should consider using, since you can only pick one. But first, we'll start with my choice of updated add-ons that came out a few weeks ago for PC. Don't skip this part, console players. This is a good look at what's to come. Each skill is separated into tiers, 1, 2, and 3. For Awakening, our Tier 3 add-on is an iframe teleport. I really don't recommend using BSR with this skill or putting an add-on on it, since add-ons only proc when you hit a target. Also, please keep in mind all add-ons stack with the original effect of the skills, either buffs or debuffs. Also, please keep in mind that all of the add-on choices are the same for each skill, only the potency is determined by the tier of skill. And yes, some classes benefited more than others from this change, but we're expecting further balancing as time goes on. Alright, let's start with PvE Awakening first. Please keep in mind I really only grind a rotation at Star's End that only uses one crystal, or I just grind Succ. To that end, I'm rarely hitting mobs with pre-awakening. If I am, I'm just using Claw Reveal. I'm also not getting any down attacks either. I decided to go with extra crit damage and attack speed for Claw Reveal, but I also did put Axe Throw in there with extra slows just in case somebody tries to PvP me at my grind spot. But if you pull with Axe Throw, you can definitely put something else on there. After watching how I commonly grind, I realized that I have an opener of either Cleansing Flame or God Incinerator, but I rarely use them back to back, so I put Monster AP on both, but with a DP Shred to stack with the existing DP Shred on God Incinerator. Cleansing Flame is a bit of a filler, so adding attack speed to it makes my follow-up feel much more satisfying. If you have lower AP and use Dragon's Maw regularly, you can consider using that as well, but I went with back and crit damage on my Searing Fang, so I normally step behind mobs to finish them with this move. For Awakening, it's fairly obvious, with a little bit of flexibility depending on your playstyle. I put a DP Shred and crit damage on God Incinerator, so it can hit as hard as possible. Attack speed on Cleansing Flame along with a minus PvP AP to stack with the one already on the skill. And then PvP damage with minus evasion on Searing Fang to try, again, to hit as hard as possible when I go all in with that attack. There's a lot of other ways to do this, but I really suggest the add-ons for God Incinerator as a standard. Lastly, let's go over Succession. Now granted, I've only been playing this for a few weeks, and I'm missing a couple AP brackets compared to my Awakening. I'm only at 284 main hand, but I've been having a blast. I mainly just use this to mess around in RBF and collect some kills. But big shout out to Jude for helping me get a handle on the add-ons and the playstyle. Note, I really don't recommend grinding with Succession. It's possible, but I don't recommend it. Mutilation goes right into Black Blood Slaughter as your main opener and combo, so I stuffed as much damage into that as possible. With the T3 add-on of Mountain Slam being the big damage follow-up, we also piled damage into that too. Black Blood Circle does amazing damage and a huge AoE, so we back that up with synergistic debuffs. Boulder Crush and Avalanche Strike are used, but carefully, and are definitely the parts that are open to be played with. Now let's talk about the Bond skills that are coming out November 18th for PC Awakening. According to the developers, this is an attempt to bring the Awakening up to the Succession standards across the board. This edition is single-handedly keeping me from rolling back to Witch Awakening, as the Bond selections that Guardians have are amazing. Glorious Advance should never be considered. It's only used for an attack speed buff and doesn't need to hit anything to proc it. So let's cross that off the list. Scornful / Float having a frontal guard option isn't a bad plan, but honestly the other options are way better. I plan on adding Floating to Cleansing Flame for my choice, which mimics the 50% BSR without the use of that resource. Or I may run Bound on God Incinerator. Not a huge fan of Bounds when floats and knockbacks give you so much more time and options for CC chains, but with the damage and area that God Incinerator has, it's hard to ignore. Dragon's Maw with a knockdown is also a good choice, but I often go in deep and use Dragon Maws to break or weaken frontal guards, not really get catches. The first hit of Searing Fang recently traded its Bound for Super Armor. Not really sure why you'd pick this over other options, but this could help in 1v1s if that matters to you. That ties it up for the peek at Bond skills and new add-ons. Us PC players get to play with Bond skills next week, and I'm pretty excited. It'll give us a lot more options in our Awakening kit. A special thanks to Potion Shop for the music on this video. I'll be using his new album Cube for the next couple of videos. Be sure to check him out on Spotify or YouTube. Both have links in the description below. That's all I've got for this video. I'll be putting out a Succession video soon for the homies on console. Excited about it. It's released next week. Keep grinding, have an excellent day, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.